So there's been reports that Pep might leave at the end of the season. It's not the first time we've heard it this season. I find this strange, though, because I feel like if he was going, he would have said it by now. Sorry. Because I remember when Klopp left Liverpool, he announced it in like the back end of January. As I'm recording this, it's currently the 2nd of February. Don't know when you're watching this. Could be after the 2nd of February. Could be on the day of the 2nd of February. But either way, I don't think he's leaving this season. At the end of it, anyway. He could walk away. If he walks away, I wouldn't blame him. I don't want him sacked or anything. I think there's more problems than Pep with his current City team, such as the defence. Like, the defence just currently isn't working together. Like, it was good against Wolves, but they're a poor Wolves side. And it wasn't bad against Galatasaray, but they didn't really offer a lot. And I think when our defence gets properly tested, it gets fucking weak and crumbles. But the managers mentioned to replace Pep have been Xabi Alonso, Cesc Fabregas, Enzo Maresca. For me, if I had to put like a 3, 2nd, and 1st out of the 3 managers I'd want to come in, it would be Cesc Fabregas 1, Xabi Alonso 2, and I would go with Maresca in Tres or 3, whatever you want to say, at 3rd. Because Maresca, I don't see, like, he's caused problems at Chelsea. He was at Chelsea for, what, a year and a half? Like, they had them in a title race, like, to begin with, like, December last year. Then they fell off a cliff. And they was lucky to get top 4, really. Because if it weren't for Villa fucking up at Old Trafford last year, on the last day, it would have been Villa and Newcastle that got the last Champions League spots, and not Chelsea. But I think, I don't know, I don't rate him at all, really. He's not, like, terrible, but I just don't think, if we want to get to the next level again, we need to get someone better than him. And the thing is with Xabi, yeah, because he didn't really do well at Madrid, I'm not convinced he'd do well at City. Because I think, like, Madrid had a fantastic squad. We've got a good squad. I don't think our squad's as good as what it's been in the past, but we've got a good squad. And I think it's possible that he does do well, because we haven't got as many ego players, but I just don't know. I don't think he's my number 1 choice. And I don't even think Fabregas is my number 1 choice. But if I was doing a ranking out of these 3 managers, I probably would go with Cesc Fabregas as number 1, because I think he suits our style the best out of the 3 managers. And I think he's got Premier League experience as a player. I know that doesn't necessarily matter when it comes to being a manager, because being a player and a manager is very different. But like, he's doing well as a manager, so I think he can do a good job. And I think it's less of a big profile name. And I think if you gave him a year, like, he'd get you top 4 in a year, 100% pretty comfortably, I reckon. And then in a year, I think he could challenge you for the title. I know that we might be, like, becoming a bit trust the process FC kind of thing, but I think we've got to accept that the glory days of Pep Guardiola probably will never happen again, or even get close to happening again. We might win a league in the next, like, 4 to 5 years if we get a new manager, but I don't think we're going to be winning the league every year, or even getting close to winning the league every year. But I think Fabregas is a good manager. He seems to be doing quite well. He wouldn't be my number 1 choice, but I think out of these 3, definitely, I think he seems to be the best manager in my personal opinion. This is if the rumours are true, though, by the way, because I think Fabregas, I've heard rumours before today about Fabregas as well, so he must be on the list. I've heard rumours about Maresca. Obviously, that came about in December time, back into December. And I've heard rumours about Andoni Areola at Bournemouth. I think he'd be a good option. I'd rather Areola than I would Maresca, if I'm being brutally honest. Yeah, I would, because he's doing well with a Bournemouth side that hasn't got the best squad. It's not got a bad squad, but with the levels, I think you could argue he's achieved with Bournemouth. But I think the number 1 target should be Julian Nagelsmann. The thing is, he's at the World Cup with Germany. If he doesn't leave, then you can't get him, obviously. And then it would probably be, I'd like Enrique, personally, if you could get him out of PSG, but I don't think that's possible. I don't see him leaving PSG, like, within the next year. That's if Pep leaves this year. if he leaves next year, then maybe there's more chance of getting Enrique. And then, obviously, there's Vincent Kompany. I think the thing is with Kompany, if he wins the Champions League, then he's achieved all he can achieve in Germany, really. Because you really want to be dominating the Bundesliga, challenge yourself and grow a pair of balls and try and win the Premier League. But I think, I don't know with Kompany. Like, if he wins the Champions League before, in the next, year or so, then definitely get him in. But if he doesn't, then you can't be getting him in based on winning the Bundesliga, because the Bundesliga is a farmers' league. And it's arguably even worse than the Premier League at the moment. Because the Premier League's a fucking quality league on its day, but this last 2-3 years, maybe even 4, it's been shit. And we've got to be honest with that. But I think Nagelsmann would be my number 1 target. But let me know who you want as next Manchester City manager, if it does end up being Pep Guardiola's last season. And I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I'll reply to your comments. Take care, have a good Monday, and all the best.